Hey, welcome to video 4. Sun shining, but drizzling outside. Sitting by the window. I have to prop myself up so I'm set a little bit more upright. Man, it has been a busy day. Frankly, I don't even want to be on here, but I am. I told myself I was going to do this, so I am. This morning's been pretty hectic. I've been doing my little tick thing a lot yesterday and today, which has made my neck and my head more sore. I feel like I'm probably going to end up with a migraine, taking migraine medication probably here soon to prevent that from getting any worse. I don't know. I try not to take it unless I have to. I feel it pretty good today from doing that. I think today, what's wrong with me? I think we'll just go ahead and get on into that. So the disability that I've been fighting for primarily is because I have a cyst that is on my spinal cord, on my brainstem. This cyst, where it's located, is the most detrimental spot on the human body that a cyst could possibly be. It's inoperable. It's a fluid-filled cyst. Apparently I've had it since birth, but things started taking a turn my late 30s, and I started going to doctors to try and figure out what was going on with me. I just knew that I had some damage through my spine and near my hips. I didn't know that I had so much damage or this cyst. It wasn't until it started progressing and causing more issues that they started digging further to figure out what was going on. And sometimes these cysts come from like injury football players in the spinal cord. Being where it is on the brain stem too, it's called syringobulbia. It's very rare. It's a neurological disease. The location that it's in is detrimental because it's behind my medulla, which also connects to your main nerves that run through your body, as well as the main nerve to your heart. I've got a heart monitor on right now. I went down pretty good a little over a week ago. What I mean by going down is I am syncopal, which means I pass out randomly. Sometimes I have a warning first, sometimes I do not. When I went down last week, I also lost feeling of both my arms for a little while. Then it went back to tingling, and now my right arm's just burning. But that's the nerves that run from the C-rank. So I've been to the EMG and had nerve tests. He's actually the one who told me that it's in the worst location possible. Ooh, I think that's because the way I'm sitting, I don't know. But with that being said, I will paralyze eventually and or just die. That's what happens with this disease, especially when it's progressive, and mine, of course, is in the worst spot possible. It is trying to kill me. Not only am I syncopal, where I pass out randomly, you can see it's affecting the left side of my face. When I'm tired or stressed out, it starts going a little further. I have it more on my left side. Last week when I went down, though, it was both sides, so who knows what it wants to do? It does what it wants. I don't swallow at will anymore. You can go back and watch my videos and you'll see that I move saliva, but I don't swallow. I have to think about it, and it's complicated. It makes taking pills complicated. My throat apparently is about that big around, not very big. Also makes eating very slow, and so by the time people are finished with their meal, I've only eaten about a third of mine, and I'm usually already starting to get full because I eat so slow, so I'm not eating a lot. They threatened a feeding tube last year. I begged them, what can I do instead of that? And so I do protein and nutrition drinks every day to try and help upkeep. And so far I've been upkeeping at least close to where I need to be. Being where it's located, it's also known to make you just stop breathing. So I could paralyze at any time, I could stop breathing at any time, or I could just drop dead at any time. My restrictions that come from it are don't lift more than 5 pounds, don't run, don't jump, don't do anything strenuous, don't strain, be careful sneezing, be careful in the restroom. I basically am not allowed to do very much of anything. I have learned that if I bend over, like bend my head over, past, like, so say I'm standing, if I go to bend over to here, I'm usually okay, but I can't stay there very long. If I go any further than that, within minutes, I've got a massive migraine, and it is killing my neck. To make things even more fun, not only is it affecting everything up here, but it's housed in a broken spine. Why am I brittle? I don't know. I'm working on that, trying to figure that out. I'm also in and out of rheumatology, in and out of cardiology, in and out with my PCP, in and out of therapy. That's a side note. I've got appointments with pain management again. I've also got some other MRIs coming up. They're about to scan my brain again, and my neck, and my cervical and thoracic spine again. My neck, I'm missing discs in my neck. And anybody that knows me and knows that I just had a car wreck, I'm not even talking about the car wreck. This is prior to the car wreck. I was already missing discs, and my neck was already super fragile and inoperable with all these restrictions before the car accident. Down through here, I have costochondritis, which is where your rib cage is separating. And so everything through here is always inflamed. You'll never see me wearing a bra. I can't. So my rib cage is separating. When you go down in my spine, I'm missing discs. In the middle, it's herniated and bulged, and it's pinched there, so I've always got a spot that feels like a knife. I always feel like I fell from a tree through my rib cage, so most of my damage is from here to here. That's why whenever you see me, you don't really notice what's wrong, but it doesn't mean that I'm not disabled. They say that the C-Rhynchophobia is comparative to CRPS, complex regional pain syndrome, which is the highest pain known to humans. And I can concur. I've had 2 children without medication, and I would do that again any day if I could give this pain away. This is a lot worse. Did I have stitches and rip and all that? Oh yeah. 2 natural childbirths. Had all the fun. Anyway, so neck, ribs, spine. You go even further down. A handful of years ago, I had spondylosis. Now it's turned into spondylolisthesis, which is where the disc is missing and the bones hit and start to fracture. I have a chronic dislocated shoulder. I also have hip dysplasia. I have a foot with a broken big toe that I shattered over a decade ago, and when I say I have brittle bones, it's still shattered, and then there's like black void in there, so anything I damage disintegrates. My foot's messed up. I have a broken bone in my ankle. It's opposite of my hip side, thankfully, so I put my weight bearing on my bad foot and ankle. I can't go without shoes. I'm always wearing orthopedic shoes. I've had a couple people point them out. Oh, you're wearing grandma's shoes. You know what? I have to wear these shoes all day, every day. I barely make it through a shower without wearing them. And even wearing them, I still want to cringe because it hurts. It's just a little less, thank God, with this one brand of shoes. Make fun of me, I don't care. So yeah, I'm pretty damaged all the way through. I've mentioned pain a long time. It took them a long time putting it all together. When it comes to being disabled, you know, it's hard because I'm having blood pressure issues because it's putting pressure on my heart and making my blood pressure spike. Like my heart will just, and I drop. But yet, when they do an exam over my heart's good. Well, that's because it's not my heart. It's the cyst putting pressure on the nerve to my heart. So when it comes to them putting the pieces together, it took some time to put it together. Yeah. I also had to schedule mammogram because, you know, I'm in my 40s. I've done it before. No big deal. This time it was a little bit more of a big deal though, because I just got the results and both my breasts are dense and I have a mass in one side. I went to oncology not too long ago, and my lymph nodes aren't swollen enough to biopsy because they don't do that until it hits a 1, but they're enlarged enough to be a 0.80, so it's coming. So I'll be probably dealing with that soon. Like, I'm not dealing with enough through here. Yeah, I gotta move. The cramping's like moving up my head more. Okay. That probably wasn't the prettiest face or view. Man, I tell ya, I'm glad that I got usage of my arms back right now, because can you imagine trying to get in and out of a chair with hip dysplasia and a bad foot and all of this messed up, not able to really move your head much, and then lose your arms? I tell you what, my future is going to be complicated. Another reason I've just given up on the dating, because whether I paralyze or drop tomorrow, or 5 years from now, or 15 years from now, really at this point, with all the hell that's out in the world, that's why I am just trying to dive into the art projects that I've had sitting around. It's hard for me to do. I have arthritis really bad in my hand. You can see it. It runs through this finger here and through my thumb, so I'm dropping stuff. I'm also shaky now, which makes art complicated. I can't sit at a computer or sit upright very long. I've learned that if I sit and don't move out of that position very long, I'll pass out. I've learned that I can't have any extra pressure on my neck. Like I told you, I'm probably gonna be taking some migraine medicine soon. I can walk up and down stairs, which, you know, it's hard because I've got so much damage, but it doesn't set my symptoms off. But for some reason, if I walk up a hill, my symptoms go haywire. Or if I dive into an art project and start doing too much, or try to clean on the house, if I don't do a tiny bit and stop and tiny bit and stop, then not only do I get the pressure and the pain that runs up to my head, as well as the other symptoms that it's causing. But I've learned that it triggers me to where I will just hot flash and I drench. And the more I've made my neck mad, or if I've slept wrong or whatever, I will just stay drenched and my heart will just race and I'll pass out. I've learned that anxiety attacks I have to try and keep under control. Try not to stress about anything too much because it makes my heart go nuts. Actually, a week ago when I dropped and lost feeling in my arms, I was actually stressing pretty good over everything that's been going on in my life. Because there's been a lot of stress this year. Oh, there's a bunny. I get lots of little bunnies in my yard and the neighbor's yard. Watch out for the cars, baby. I'm not allowed to drive, speaking of cars. I don't want to hurt nobody. Doctors took that away almost 2 years ago. I finally figured out transportation, Medicaid, got that set up for me. So I'm in and out of my doctor's appointments, even though they can't do anything for me, and it's looking pretty gloomy, like it's about to get even more fun. I don't even know that I want to deal with it. Since they found a mass in my breast, they're about to send me for more imaging with that. And then, like I said, I'm already in oncology, and I've got this deadly life trigger in my neck that is just a ball of joy. So I don't really know. I just don't know, y'all. I try to remember every day to be grateful that I woke up and was breathing. I've got a roof over my head, which, 2 years of being out of work fighting for disability, it's been quite a fiasco trying to figure out how to get to appointments and figure out how to do stuff around the house without lifting or straining. Plus I hobble, I have a cane, which I could use for those stumbly moments, but the cane puts pressure on my bad shoulder, and I need the cane on that side because that's my bad hip side. Days I really struggle walking, I have a walker if I need it. I can't walk fast. If I walk fast, then I hit the ground too hard. Walking slow, every time I hit the ground with my feet, I feel it jar up through my neck into the back of my head. In fact, I was planning on going for a walk today, but with me already having pressure back there today, I know that that little bit of pressure under my feet, I for sure will be down for the next few days, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to not go and take some medicine and hopefully feel better later today or tomorrow and not make it worse. So even though I wanted to get out today, better judgment tells me no. I've learned if I drink more than one drink of alcohol, like a glass of wine or a beer or something, if I try to drink more than one, it puts pressure. Apparently it's counterbalancing off my heart because it makes your heart more rapid, and with them being tied together, so I can't even have a couple drinks to take edge off if I wanted to, which is not good for me anyway. Pain management really hasn't been able to do anything for me. Pain like this, it's untouchable. Unless they can go in there and just rip all my nerves out of there, they're not gonna be able to do anything. I've tried the TENS units, I've tried the shots, I've been through all of that shit. I started this back in 2015, digging really heavy on this. 2017, they tried all of those things and basically told me I was fucked. So I've known for a long time. They diagnosed the C-Ranka bulbia 2021, so that was 5 years ago. Basically, they told me I could die from sneezing. Be careful with everything I do. Told me I'm not allowed to work anymore and can't drive, and stripped my life away from me. But I'm here and breathing. The sun is shining. It looks like it quit drizzling, and the birds are chirping. I think I'll sit outside for a little bit when I get off the video. Outside's good. Get grounded. It's important to get grounded. And to be kind. I'm going to say that a lot through a lot of my videos, because a lot of people are just not kind. Or they do things for the wrong reasons. People need to remember the whole point's to care, to have empathy, strength, boundaries and lessons, but strength, love, and light, faith. I have faith that they're going to eventually put 2 and 2 together with all my medical records and help me, because, I mean, the doctors won't let me. They tell me that I could die anytime. I've been praying a lot all day, every day. Please help me out of this position. If I ignore the doctors and go to work, then I'm going to be doing all sorts of things against my restrictions. And it hurts my chances of disability going through. But it's taking so long. Y'all, they took work away from me March 2024. Hindsight, 2 years of the worst struggle I've ever had in my life. If I would have known they were going to take work away from me and driving, I don't know if I ever would have went to the doctor. Granted, driving, I learned with all my passing out, it's not safe anyway. I don't want to hurt nobody. But, I don't know that I would have went to the doctor that day if I would have known they were going to take everything away from me. I loved helping people. I was proud of how hard I worked to get as far as I did. I wouldn't wish this on anybody, because it's been rough. My fridge is empty. I don't know if I'm going to be paying any bills next month. So I don't know if I'll have electric. I've gone without it before. A couple times. One time it was when my fish was alive, so I spent 3 days, every 20 minutes, putting new water in and out of his tank just to keep him alive for those 3 days. Can you imagine doing that every 20 minutes? I set an alarm on my phone. I didn't sleep. You do what you gotta do. I've walked to pantries. I walked the pantry back when I had a broken ankle. Back when I was working, walking to work.
You do what you gotta do. At least as much as you can. I can't do that now. But I found on Facebook that some people that run some pantries put extra food on there. And so I've had some delivered. And I'm okay. I have some food. It's more or less just electric and phone for doctor's appointments and bills. Trying to keep them on while I wait on this process. And my son, he's staying with me too, and even though he tries not to eat my food or anything, you know, a body in the house is more electric, more gas, more water. I don't say anything about the bills going up, even though I wish I felt like I was appreciated. He's trying to build a place out on his property and trying to get somewhere in life. And so I'm just letting him do it. I hope when I'm gone, even though I feel so alone now, I hope when I'm gone, me trying to help, and doing the best that I could. I hope there's some appreciation somewhere. It's hard when you don't feel like you have anybody and nobody cares. I gotta go take some medicine. That's video 4.